Hello and welcome to another segment of the LPE Author Chat series. I am your host, Kimberly Kay Rabenberg, CEO and founder of LaBoo Publishing Enterprise. Tonight we have with us a very exciting guest, Miss Krista Kay Rabenberg, author of Head Above the Rest. Krista Kay is originally from Mobridge, South Dakota. Being a head above the rest is something Krista has been familiar with since preschool. Krista now stands at a breathtaking 6'6" and is an attraction anywhere she goes. As anyone can imagine, it isn't always easy to stand out from the crowd. Krista graduated with her bachelor's degree in sociology in 2011, then earned her master's degree in mental health counseling in 2014. She has worked as a therapist in the crisis counseling field as well as in college settings. In 2017, life took Krista to Las Vegas to film a reality TV show called My Giant Life on TLC. This launched Krista into the public eye, and she knew she wanted to do something that could help people. Now, Krista is a Las Vegas-based comedian, actress, writer, and produces her own comedy shows in both South Dakota and Las Vegas. Welcome to the broadcast, Krista Kay.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. So, to our viewing audience, Krista and I met just about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, in Las Vegas at the Path to Publishing conference during the media blitz. It was a media blitz. She walked into the room and immediately commanded attention. She had on a hot pink jacket. I looked up at her and complimented her on her jacket, and she said, "Thank you," but immediately followed with, "as if I needed to bring more attention to myself." It sparked a whole conversation between us, which ended up with her being on the broadcast tonight. So I am super happy to have met you and now to have you on the broadcast. Yes. Huh?
It was really nice meeting you too. It was like, I think you were the very first person I had a conversation with.
Yes, it was awesome. It was an awesome night. So let's jump right in. So you wrote this beautiful children's book titled Head Above the Rest. So why don't you start by just telling us about the book itself and why you chose to write it?
Sure. Well, I guess I had always felt like I have a message just because I'm so much different than everybody else, and it's very obvious how different I am. So I basically was made fun of a little bit during, it's mostly like grade school, middle school. And I don't know, I remember having this aha moment in my life where it was like, okay, I'm not going to get shorter. So it's up to me 100% if I'm going to love myself or hate myself, because that's really the only two options. And we always have control over our perspective. So I chose the perspective of having a sense of humor about it. And of course that takes work. So I just think it's an important message for kids to learn at a younger age that being different is perfectly fine because we all are different. So even if it's not a physical difference, maybe your interests are different. I don't know. We're all different people, and that's something that should bring us together and not tear us apart. And so the whole book is designed to put a shield up against bullying, because when you're being bullied, the bully is projecting his own issues onto you. So it really has nothing to do with you. So that's what I like to keep in mind. Even to this day, if someone's rude, it's like, it's not about me, it's about them. So it kind of puts up that shield. So yeah, and it's also about learning yourself for exactly who you are. So
yeah, which is super important.
All of us to know that.
Yeah, even at this age, right?
Absolutely.
So you dedicated your book in the beginning to your mom and dad, and you said for being the solid foundation on which you built your confidence. So I know there are lots of parents that struggle with their children being bullied. How important was your parents' support in helping you through that difficult time?
It was like, I kind of mad not having it. My mom, she was only 5'10". I say only, but it's obviously I'm a lot taller than that. But you know, she was literally always a head above the rest too. And we grew up in such a small town in South Dakota, like 3,500 people. So, you know, same with my mom. You kind of grow up thinking that you're the only tall girl ever because you don't have anyone to like look to for guidance or anything. You kind of feel like you're the only one. So she kind of helped me through that. And then my dad always like encouraged me to just do whatever made me happy. Obviously sports was like, I say obviously, but I'll take that back. Sports was a big you know, factor in my life, and kind of basketball was the first thing that kind of made sense to me on like, oh, this is why I'm tall. So but I was never forced to play any sports because I was tall. That was more like the rest of the, you know, community. So I never felt pressured into doing anything I didn't want to do. So yeah, just that solid support, and yeah, and you know, I look up to both of them for confidence. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know, you know, I have several friends who have dealt with it. And just watching them and the pain that comes along with trying to nurture your child and help them to, you know, get them to believe in themselves and know that they are special, even though there's something different about them. I've watched that struggle, and I know how hard that is. So kudos to your parents for doing such a great job in helping you and getting you to love yourself. So that's awesome. So in the book, you tell a great story about a tall character being bullied, essentially because she was tall. Then one day she got sick and turned the tables on them, asking them about their flaws and what they didn't like about themselves. So I thought it was really cool because then in the book, they all begin to share what are some of the things that they don't like about themselves. So what is the main message that you want to get across to children with your book?
Just that exact fact. Also, you know, when you're being bullied, it's kind of an isolating feeling because you feel like, well, I'm the only one that's different. And so, I mean, the book obviously illustrates that exactly, because it's like, no, you're not. And when you kind of stick up for yourself and you start to realize, you know, what's underneath of people bullying is their own insecurities. And so I just think it's important to know that you're not the only one with insecurities, you know. And so instead of like absorbing that, I guess like the negative comments, like again with the shield, it's not about you. And so all you can control is your perspective and the love you have for yourself. So you can never control how anyone else acts. And how any of us act is not our business. I always like Oprah, you know, she's had a lot of like up and down with her weight, for example.
True.
But she doesn't bring other people down to make herself feel better. I mean, she built an empire in empowering other people. So it's not like, and she has her own things she wants different, which is fine. We can all have goals, but you know, of course, she's been bullied probably more than anybody, you know, in the public eye. I don't know, and it's just like, you obviously don't have to tear down to make yourself feel better.
Exactly. So true. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. I noticed at one point in the book, you talked about, or you said you thought if you could make them laugh, that they would like you. So I mentioned in your bio that you are now a comedian. So did you when you began to use humor at a young age, did you do that as a coping mechanism?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, this illustration is me pretending to hit my head on an exit sign, and I would actually, because it doesn't matter, you know, how I'm feeling or where I'm at, people stare at me, like, regardless. So I started having fun with it. So I would just literally reach up and hit an exit sign, which I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, but it makes a really loud noise. So even if you're not looking, then all of a sudden you look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, my head. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, that tall person has no idea what's around her head. It's like, no, I just feel fine, but it's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And so,
sure. So
Yeah. And so now it's a part of your brand. It's who you are. You're, a stand-up comedian. And I think that's awesome.
well,
So
and it's
that,
like life is like it started out as a coping mechanism. It's my career, you know. It's like you
wow.
never.
How awesome is that? It started as a coping mechanism and now it's your career.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Pain
Uh,
rewarded.
yeah. So what advice do you have for parents who have a child that is being bullied?
I would just work on empowering them. And of course, it's going to be hard because they're in the situation every single day,
Yeah.
dealing with it. But if you can like start to plant the seed that, if anyone's making fun of you, it's about who they are, And I
Yeah.
can't even like stress that enough because honestly, the people that bullied me in like middle school, high school, I mean, they're still miserable people,
Wow.
and like and I had one, he was probably like the meanest to me of everyone. And I seen him out a couple years ago and he comes up to me and he's like, Krista, he's like, I always knew that you were gonna do good things. And he
Okay.
apologized for how mean he was to me. And so
Wow.
it, and sometimes people, even if you're, not different or whatever, but people are like threatened by maybe, I don't know, insecurities that you
Yeah.
might bring out in them,
Mhm.
so whether that's your work ethic or obviously I'm a tall female, so like I bring out insecurities in men, you
Yeah.
know, this kind of stuff. So it's like all you can do is focus on your own confidence, and
Yeah.
it's really up to you. And I think it's really empowering once you grasp the fact that you're in control of your own happiness. So
Yeah.
it's not, because when I was younger, of course we've all done this, but it's almost like you put your happiness, the responsibility of happiness in other people's hands, whether
Hmm.
it's a significant other or a friend or a parent or whatever. And so it's just, I don't know. I think it's really about teaching kids to just own exactly who they are and
Yeah.
which I don't know, I think develops I don't know, like independent people.
Hmm. 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 Yeah. And so on the flip side of that, what advice would you have to the parent of the bully? Because
Yeah.
many times, parents don't even want to take responsibility for the fact that their child is being that way. So do you have any advice for parents of the bully?
Well, I think reason people are bully. So I mean explore that with them, you know? Because I mean I think we've all done it too. Like even if, you know, we've all had bad days where it's like maybe people more annoyed when you're driving in traffic or whatever. But
Hmm.
it's like that's my stuff. It
Yeah.
doesn't whoever the stranger is that's driving slow, not like their problem because I'm annoyed or whatever
True.
it be. So
Hmm.
it's just, but obviously like there's something going on inside,
Hmm.
and usually I don't know. I mean, there's a million reasons why people are,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I would just say just talk to them more and
Yeah.
see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like my own experience that I grew up with, they had like, from broken homes and
Hmm.
all this kind of stuff, and which I mean most of us are, but it's just like I don't know. I think a lot of it's probably for attention too.
Hmm.
So you
True.
know, and I think it helps them like I don't know. I think typically people that bully have like a lower self confidence,
Hmm.
so they want to almost like knock people down. So
Yeah.
maybe hobbies or sports or something that can
Hmm.
like build up their confidence to kind of I don't know, make them have a sense of purpose probably.
Yeah.
So
That's good. Helping them to have a sense of purpose. I love that.
yeah.
I love that. I love that. So then you ended up on a TV reality show, right? So let's talk a little bit about that because again, it was that difference that put you in the limelight for you to be able to have that opportunity. So how awesome was that for you?
That was crazy. Remember, because I was a new cast member to season 3, so I had watched, season 1 and 2, so I was familiar with the girls on it, and well, I did the part of the casting call for the first season, and then I didn't get picked. But they were like, but don't worry, you know. So I had like a contact person, so I would kind of keep in touch with him about my life or whatever,
Uh-huh.
because obviously they want you to be tall, but they want you to be interesting as well. So it's not
Right.
only about the height. And
Yeah.
so I was finally interesting enough, and then I was actually a therapist up in South Dakota at a
Mhm.
college, and then I got picked for the show, and they're like, "Well, we're moving you to Las Vegas to live with your
Wow.
mom at 9." So I was like, "Okay, let's do it," you know. And I wasn't happy counseling at all because I'm just such an empath, so it was like
Mhm.
really affecting me, and
Wow.
so it was like the perfect excuse to change career. And then comedy just started as a storyline,
Mm.
and yeah, I ended up falling in love with it. So
Yeah.
my first big comedy show was on the TV show. So
Yeah. I saw.
yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And then I guess like I don't know, I felt really excited to be on that show because I know how alone I felt just being like a tall, like awkward girl.
Yeah.
And amazing that would have been like if I was growing up and there was that reality show, because it would feel like I'm not alone. And
Right.
so, you know, and so it's kind of cool when you're on like TV because you'll never know how many people you affected, you know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I was like, okay, you know, I had to go back and check out some episodes and watch
Yeah.
the show. So it was pretty cool to see you on there. So I have a lot of people that reach out to me about writing children's books. So
Mhm.
what was the experience of writing and publishing the children's book like for you?
Um, uh, it, um, well, okay. So one of my producers from the show
Mhm.
suggested, because I have been on TV, to write a book, probably a children's book would like, you know, be faster. And
Mhm.
so he introduced me to an illustrator. And so we were just, and he's illustrated so many books and obviously knows what the storyline is. And right away I told him the idea. So like, it took me like 1 second to think of this.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wrote it all out, and then I wrote the detailed like characters,
Uh-huh.
what they're wearing. Like I actually like, you know, mentally created the characters and then told
Awesome.
him, and we produced the images. Um,
Mhm.
I guess the writing process was really fun and like fairly
Mhm.
easy.
Mhm.
The only thing that I had any issue with was my illustrator because I don't know if it's just like the creative people or something, but like he would set his own deadlines and didn't meet them. But it ended up being about a year late. So
Wow.
that was the frustrating part to me because I like to again like be in control of like everything.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and so that was the frustrating part. So
Mhm.
I would, you know, I mean, but I have a finished product now, so I like,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
and
beautiful.
yeah, no,
It's
thank
really
you.
beautiful. I didn't even think to ask you if you had it near so we could show it or anything, but I mean, absolutely beautiful. I love the illustration, the colors, the characters. It was so well done.
Thank
So,
you.
you know, the vibrant colors of it all, and I love the storyline. And for parents who, you know, have a child that's going through bullying, perfect book to help get them through that. And so I commend you. I loved it. I loved
Thank
it.
you.
So, you
Yeah,
know, I think it's awesome. You
so
have it?
yeah.
Oh, cool. But yeah, so gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh,
Yay, there we go.
woo!
Ahead above the rest. So it's just so like I said, so vibrant and such a great story. And so I encourage people to get it. Like, can you open up one of the pages with the
Okay,
characters so
sure.
that they can see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So that's
Yes, there's the
close.
big one. He's trying to find clothes to wear, big tall giraffe. So it's just a really great story. So I'm just so happy for you that you went for it. Look at that. Yeah, I love that one actually with the butterfly sitting on her nose
Yeah.
giving advice. That was really
Yep.
cool. That was really cool.
So
So
actually,
really
like,
awesome.
inside fact about the butterfly in the
Uh-huh.
story. So mine actually passed away when I was 17,
Oh,
and
wow.
so the butterfly represents my mom, and then whatever,
Oh,
those are the life lessons my mom gave me. So yeah,
how awesome is that?
yeah.
Cool. So tell people how they can connect with you and also tell them how they can purchase a copy of your beautiful children's book, Ahead Above the Rest.
Yeah. Okay. Um, my social media is all Krista Kay Comedy.
Mhm.
You can do
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. My website, KristaKayComedy.com. And also, my children's book is available on Amazon.
Yay! And very easy to find. If I just typed in Krista Kay and it came right
Oh,
up.
perfect.
It came
I have
right
to
up.
do that.
So it's like if you can't remember the title, just type Krista Kay.
Yeah, there we go.
So
That's
awesome.
perfect.
So awesome. So thank you so much for being my guest on the show tonight. It was really great to have you. I wish you all the best with your comedy and everything else that you're doing in Vegas. It was so great to meet you while I was there. And I plan to stay connected and follow what you have going on next. And I can't wait, to see what you come up with next. Do you have
Yay.
anything amazing like? Yeah, so thank you
So
so
much.
much. All right. And so thank you to our viewing audience. Thank you for joining us for another segment of the LPE Author Chat series. And remember, if you are thinking about writing your own book, head on over to www.LaBooPublishing.com to connect with us there. Take care and be blessed, everyone. Have an amazing night.